Good morning, namaste. You can come to the front of your mat and we'll get started straight away with these Namaskar Circles. So rise and shine. This means that we're just going to be moving our body quite a bit and flowing with the breath. So inhale to sweep the arms up, and as you exhale, come down through the center. And continuing with this, just connecting movement and breath, and not in any hurry, as always, really savoring each and every moment. The Buddha said that each day that we arise, we are born again. We are born again. So let us be born fresh in this moment, and every breath is another opportunity to be born again as well. So from here, these Namaskar Circles. Inhale, we'll just take a couple more. Inhale to sweep out and up, and exhaling, welcoming yourself, welcome to the practice. Inhale up, and this time come down more through a chair pose. So we've got our feet hip-width apart and parallel, and then taking the movement a little bit further. So we've got the same arm movement, and as you do this, then we can take it even further still. So exhaling down through your chair pose. If you can, tap the earth beside the feet, and then inhale and rise up. Take Temple Mudra or Charlie's Angel's Mudra and rise up onto tippy toes. So here on tippy toes, stay strong through the inner ankle, hug the upper arms in, and then exhaling and coming down through your chair pose. Check that the knees are tracking straight forward. So tap the floor again and inhale, reaching out and up. Again, rise up onto tippy toes. Good morning, everyone. And exhaling down. Tap one last time. Inhaling to rise, reaching up. And then exhale and take a forward fold. So forward fold down. You can lift halfway up and lengthen through the spine. Plant the hands and step the right leg back to the back of the mat. So you've got a nice long stance. And then working with your breath. So we'll inhale and take the arms up. You might need padding under the knee. And exhale. In the morning, it's good to not expect too much from your body in the flexibility department. Just move with the fluidity. So as we go to bed at night, you know why you feel stiff in the morning is the body lays down connective tissue. And so moving is the best way to clear this out. So I'm going to go into this winged warrior shape now. You can feel free to have the hands on the earth or using the block. Inhale to lift and exhale to rock back. And one last time like that. Inhaling and exhale. And then you can plant the hands down and stepping back to a hands and knees position and engaging the core here. So lift through the belly, scoop out through the belly, and then hover the knees if you're able to, pressing the earth away from you. And as the knees lift, you'll find that the core becomes active. And it's not a time to go skimping on the breath or holding the breath, but rather still that welcoming, inviting the breath in. And then lower the knees down, walk the hands forward, come through an easy push-up position, and laying down onto the belly, inhale to lift into your Shalabhasana, engaging the whole back body. So you can have the palms facing down, and that will imagine pressing into basketballs, so you get this upper back activation. Then lift the thighs up off the floor a little more. And plant the hands. You could rise to a cobra, or maybe you need to stick with a sphinx pose for now. But awakening everything in the body, so engaging through the legs, send the heart forward, even shining, smiling, if you're able to. It might be too advanced right now. All right, lowering down, rise up through your full or a half push-up and press back into downward facing dog. And just for downward dog, again, you might feel that, so Gil Headley in the fuzz speech on YouTube, he calls it the fuzz. So the body is in sleep and stagnant, no movement, it puts down this fuzz. And movement is the best way to clear it. So just nudging, flirting with your edges now. Then looking forward and either stepping or jumping yourself forward. And as you jump, I see a lot of people, their hips sink down. So keep the hips high as you jump. Maybe you need to try again. So keeping the hips high. Lifting halfway up and lengthening through the spine. And exhale to fold in. Bend the knees a lot, spaghetti arms, and spinal roll yourself all the way up and come back into this familiar Namaskar Circles. Inhaling, sweeping out and up. And exhaling down, coming through your chair pose. So touch just to the outside of the feet now and inhale, rise up. Take your temple mudra. Rise up onto tippy toes and exhaling down. So feel as you reach up that it's this yawn from the inside. You know that feeling, if you can, cultivate a yawn and just have that feeling of reach like you do in the morning. And then exhale and fold forward and down. Lift halfway up as you inhale. And with your exhale, take the left leg all the way back to the back of the mat. Give yourself a generous stance and with your breath, inhale to rise. You could use a block if you wanted to, exhaling, rocking back. Again, we're not going for anything dramatic here, but rather just moving and awakening. I'm going to go for the winged warrior option now, which you might like to join me for or not. And I also turn the back shin across the mat a little, just to give greater steadiness. And we'll do one more of these, inhaling a smoothness to the movement. So adding in that smoothness can help to clear the fuzz away as well. Alright, then planting the hands, come back to your hands and knees position again. So tuck the toes and again hover the knees, and if this isn't available for you right now because of shoulder things going on, no problem, you can adjust as necessary, but if you're able to, again hover and have the knees as close to the floor as possible. Scoop through the belly, and then we'll try a couple of little bear walks. So it's a contralateral, forward and back. So opposite arm and leg. And it's another great way to wake yourself up in the morning, is do something weird, I find anyway. And that causes a little jolt of adrenaline as you have to focus, so you can lower the knees down. Press through the shins and inhale to come all the way up. Bring the palms to touch. Exhale the arms out into cactus arms. So the cactus arms are like this. And get a look into the belly for a moment. Scoop through the tail. And then keep that activation and glutes strong as you perhaps start to lean back a little. The morning, greeting the morning and shining yourself into the morning. Then taking the arms up overhead, this time with interlacing the fingers, and get that real feeling of yawning now. So if you can, I don't know if yawns are contagious, that was a fake yawn anyway. So pressing the palms up and opening out, get that feeling of yawning from the inside. And the satisfaction that that brings. Plant the hands. You can come through a full or half push-up and lowering down. Rise up into your back bend. Ah, we've made the sun come out, isn't that nice? And exhaling to lower. Rise up through hands and knees or plank and press yourself back into downward facing dog again. Again, just this little press, heel press, not in any major movements, just awakening and even getting that same movement in the, or freedom in the shoulders. Feel for rolling the shoulders here. Okay, and then let's inhale and take the right leg smoothly to the sky. Take a tiger curl, and of course you could have the left knee on the floor. Inhale, that yawn through the back leg now. And exhale the foot forward to the hands. So this time keeping the back leg straight and inhaling to come up. Exhale down into your cactus arms and have this feeling of shining. And twice more like that. Stay right through the back leg. Inhale the arms up and exhale into your cactus arms, if it's okay. If you need to, if you've got lower back issues, maybe bending the back knee. And one last time. There's no yoga pose worth blowing it back out over, so please adapt. Inhale and sweeping the arms up. And exhale the hands down onto the earth. Step yourself back and into plank. Look into the belly, have that same feeling of lifting through the belly and scooping the tail, and travel forward as you lower yourself down. Rise into your back bend. Again, that's another opportunity to shine out. And exhale to lower. Rise up through full or half push-up and back to downward facing. Still just warming the body. Inhale and stretching the left leg to the sky. Take a tiger curl, knee into the chest. Inhale, up and back. And then step the foot through. Coming on up through your crescent position. Inhale up. Exhale into the cactus arms. Inhale. Again, reaching up. And exhale. Elbows just to elbows to shoulder height and tipping back if that's available. And one last time. Inhale to reach. Exhaling. Inhale, extending. So the more you move, the greater freedom that it creates, the greater ease in the body. You can step yourself back. And the more possibility then to shine from that space of freedom and ease, lowering yourself down. Inhale to rise up and pressing back into downward facing. So again, another opportunity to try the jump forward, keeping the hips high. Feel free to add in a handstand here if you want to. I have a bit of a ledge here. I'm not going to play that game at the moment. Inhale to lift and exhale to forward fold. Come on up through your spinal roll or a reverse swan dive. And exhaling, hands into Namaste. So already feeling the difference there. As the Buddha said, every new day is a brand new opportunity. We are reborn every day, every moment. And having that feeling of a clean slate. And then maybe, what do you want to do with that clean slate? So bringing that as an intention into your practice. For the rest of the practice, inhale and sweeping the arms out and up. And exhale to fold forward and down. lift halfway up as you inhale. And
Just speak up a little bit. It's coming through quite soft.
okay. I just got told to speak up more. All right, I can do that. So let's press back. We'll step the right leg back to the back of the mat. And coming into this crescent position again. Inhale to sweep the arms up. Exhale down through your cactus arms position. Take an inhale here and brighten out to the elbows, even brighten to the hands. Do your jazz hands, sparkly jazz hands. And then interlace the fingers behind the back of the body. Take an inhale here and lift through the chest. And keep that back leg bright as you fold forward and down. So you can go chest onto the thigh, or if you wanted to, even taking the torso to the inside and coming into this humble warrior position. And rising up, pressing back through the arms. Inhale to lift. Open the arms out. And exhale, just your right hand down onto the floor. Twisting yourself around. Maybe stretch the top arm over, and then let's take this tracing the horizon line. So inhale to sweep the arm forward, and exhale to sweep the arm back. And a couple more times like that. Inhale forward, and getting that feeling of yawning and stretching. And last one, inhale. Exhale to sweep around. And then planting the hands, both hands to the inside. Oh, you can go one hand either side of the foot and stepping back. Turning into a side plank. So keep the feet at plank pose, but pivot the heels over to the right side. And feel free to have this right knee down on the floor if you wanted to. And then, if you're able to, hovering the left leg and reaching over just for a moment, and then touch down, lower through your connecting vinyasa. Inhale up, and exhaling down, rise to downward facing. And from here, press back into standing forward fold at the back of the mat. So from here, you can transfer the weight. We'll be working with the same leg. So transfer the weight onto the left leg and reach the right leg to the sky. And with that same energy of yawning and stretching the right toes up into the clouds, just because you can. And then as you exhale, tap the knee to the calf muscle, and twice more like that. Just with the movement, creating that possibility for a little bit more expansion. And then from here, bring the knee back into the chest. Touch the foot to the earth. Spinal roll yourself up. Open the arms out to the side. And up. Bring the palms to touch overhead. So bring the left hand onto the back. So you've got your right hand holding the left elbow. And again, have that same feeling of zipping up through the front of the body, and this leaning back, this basking. And then releasing the arms around to interlace behind the back of the body. Take an inhale here. Just releasing through the shoulders a little. So bring the right hand now onto the lower back. And so it comes out like a chicken wing. You should be able to see your wrist there. And then use the left hand to draw the right elbow forward. Should give you a nice stretch at the back of the shoulder. Hopefully. You can add in bringing the left ear to the left shoulder as well. And go ahead and release the arm. Slide that right arm up further. Use the left hand to bring the left ear to the left shoulder. And then if you're able to, reaching to catch hold of the hands and coming into this, so you're still standing at the back of the mat and with the hands clasped, right hand under, left elbow over. Lift the right knee up into the chest, and if you're able to, just one pulse to send it back behind you. Inhale to lift. And then stepping forward, but it's just a short stance. So you've got both feet, both sets of toes facing forward. Take an inhale here and again, that little bit of leaning back. And exhale to fold. And I'd recommend just a halfway point, but if you're quite flexible, you can fold further down. So what tends to happen is this left elbow is heavy and collapses down. Instead, press the back of the head into the elbow to keep it up. And if you can't clasp, then no problems. You can, by all means, have the hands on the floor. But if you're able to stay in the clasp, then stay there and pivot yourself around. Keep the right hand, you can release the left hand to the floor, but keep the right hand up on the back and start to twist yourself around, opening to the right. You can then liberate that right arm up, maybe twisting and opening through the shoulder. And if you wanted to, going into a deeper twist, so left hand across to the right foot, and even coming back into that bind, add in a tiny little cobra through the upper back. And even folding the chest to the thigh. Maybe nodding the head yes, and as you let go through the head and neck, there's an ease that comes through the whole of the body. And then releasing the right hand down, you can pivot yourself back around. We'll step forward then to the front of the mat, lift halfway up. Have the feet hip width apart and parallel, and exhale to fold yourself in. Come up through a spinal roll, chin into the chest, opening the arms out, palms touch overhead. And exhale the hands down through Namaste. Feels better already, yes. Inhale, sweeping the arms out, palms touch. And exhaling the hands down, remembering your intention that you want to bring into this day, this precious day. Just the fact that you are breathing means that it's going to be a great day. Yes. Release and touch the hands to the earth. Inhale, rise up onto tippy toes for a moment. And then heels down, forward fold. Lift yourself halfway up, opening through the chest. And exhaling the left leg back to the back of the mat. Inhaling and taking the arms up overhead. Exhale down into your cactus arms position. And then we're interlacing the fingers behind the back of the body. Reach the knuckles back and take an inhale here. Maybe sliding the hands down the thigh for support. Still that opportunity to shine brightly through the chest, through your face, through your eyes. And then forward fold, either belly onto the thigh, or you could come to the inside and forward folding there. And then rising up, reaching the arms up, and coming into this easy twist. So tracing the horizon line again, twisting yourself around. Sorry, there's been a lot on the thigh, but you know me, leg day, every damn day. And twisting yourself around. Inhale forward. And exhaling, twisting back. And one last time. Inhale. Strong legs means stable spine. Inhaling. Up. You can plant that left hand down now. Feel free to have the knee on the floor, or stepping back and into a side plank position. Maybe bunching up, shortening through the left side waist now as you hover and lift the leg, extending that same feeling of yawning to life. And flipping yourself over, lower down. Take your back bend of choice. And then from your downward facing dog, walking the hands back into your forward fold. As you exhale, folding in a little deeper and transferring the weight onto the right foot. Stretch the left leg to the sky into your own beautiful, unique version of standing splits for today. Stretching the toes as if they wanted to touch the clouds. And then coiling in and tap. And 3 or 4 times, inhale to expand. Just welcoming that freeing up of the fuzz. Not that sort of fuzz, other fuzz, the connective tissue. And one last time, reaching up. Then you can plant the foot down, come up through a reverse swan dive or a spinal roll, palms touch overhead, and then bringing the right hand down onto the back. So you've got the left hand holding onto the right elbow, and again that feeling of zipping up through the front body so that you can lean back if you're able to. And then switching the arms around, so the left elbow now comes out to the side. So make sure you can see the left wrist. It's not like this. You want to be able to see the left wrist, and it should give you quite a delicious stretch through the back of the shoulder. It's one of my hot spots for sure. If you in forearm balance, if your elbows splay out a lot, it's generally a tightness here, so this might become your very favorite stretch to do for a while. And then less about the left elbow, bring the right hand up to the ear and side bending through the head and neck. Getting ready to take the arms a little further, so wrapping around and into this bind if you can. And then brightening and shining between the elbows as well. So then transfer the weight onto the right foot. Bring the left knee up to the chest. Optional to stretch back into a warrior position. Inhaling back up, and then just a little baby step forward. So looking at your feet, make sure that both sets of toes are facing forward. Take an inhale here. Again, maybe that leaning back slightly. And as you fold, keep the right hip moving forward into the fold. And by all means, just stay in this halfway position. Check that this right elbow isn't sagging down. Keep the right elbow lifted, and even the head lightly encouraging the elbow back. Feel from the even pelvis, as that right hip comes forward, left hip comes back, that it creates that steadiness through the spine and evenness through the spine as well. Nice work. And then releasing and touching down. So then, you keep the arms there, but spin yourself around now and keep the left hand, I've just turned because it's too much information the other way. So the left hand is still on the lower back and the right hand comes to the floor. And then at some point, so we've been there a while, you might need to roll the shoulder and open the left arm to the sky. And then if you wanted to, going into that deeper twist, even diving back into the bind and twisting the spine around, twisting and see things from a new perspective. See things having slept on it, that you've got fresh eyes. How wonderful. Alright, so from here then you can release the hands down, pivot yourself around and step forward. So we're back to the front of the mat and back to the beginning, but at one level everything's changed, and at another level maybe that essential nature of you that is unchanging. And we can tap into that and maybe for today live from that space. Look, I'm just basking in the sunlight for you. I'm doing this for you, okay? You can take in that light. Imagine yourself standing here and have all the benefits. The fresh morning sun, very dawn sunlight is so healing for the body, especially making sure you're not wearing sunglasses and receiving that light into your eyes. Wonderful reset for our circadian rhythms as well. Okay, so let's inhale and stretch the arms to the sky. Exhaling and folding forward and down. Inhale, lifting halfway up. And with your exhale, you can go ahead and step both legs back and coming into downward facing dog. So in downward dog, let's inhale and take the right leg to the sky. As you exhale, travel forward into a one-legged plank, keeping that right hip low. Inhaling, stretching up and back. And as you exhale, knee into the chest, tiger curl. Step the foot forward in between the hands and take the left hand, this is your right hand, onto your right thigh. Inhale and stretch the left arm up to the sky. And as you exhale, twist yourself around. So we're not going to settle in just yet. Twice more. Inhale to stretch the arm up. Exhale, maybe this time don't even touch. See if you can take the elbow that much further around. Sometimes if we just aim for the knee, that's all we get. And I wonder if that happens for you in life as well. So pressing, you can settle in now and come into this twist, rotating the chest around to the right side. And rather than collapsing down, create space, lift and open through the front of the body. Excellent. And then from here, plant the hands, heel toe your right foot over to the left side and come forward into Ardha Matsyendrasana. So you bring the left knee to the midline of the mat as you travel forward. And then twisting yourself around. So right hand behind you again, reaching up and yawning, or maybe you're ready to flick the switch and to shine out a little more. And then exhaling to twist yourself around. Some of you might come into the bind. Some of you might be happier here in this more open position. Particularly if you have any, if you're pregnant or feeling pregnant. It's happened to me a few times these last few weeks. All right, no, I'm not pregnant, by the way. All right, cross the leg all the way over. So coming into now this Gomukhasana position. Now, if that's not available for you, you could just go cross legs. So by available, I mean maybe it's creating knee pain and there's no pose worth blowing a knee out over either. So then we'll go into a forward fold. And because we've already done it before, you may like to add in the arms here. So that's the left elbow lifted. We've got the right leg over and folding yourself forward. Or not. Fine to just stay sitting up as well. allow everything to sink and settle. You didn't perhaps see it, but my dog, she just completely melted into the floor right then. So that's what you need to do. Animals are such a great reminder of certain aspects. Certainly to not sweat the small stuff. They let things go very quickly. So we can then arise. And from here, plant the hands. So come forward, if this is all okay for you. So come forward, tuck the toes. You've got your legs still in this Gomukhasana position. Lift the knees into that, like the bear position that we had earlier. Then release the right leg around and take it behind you. And then left leg and take it over back and to the outside of the mat. So you're doing this Gomukhasana walk to get to the back of the mat. And just nodding the head a few times here. Feel free to take child's pose. In fact, let's all take Anahatasana. So stretching the arms forward and melting the chest down towards the earth. Rest the forehead down. So it's great to have this feeling of maximum lift through the armpits and lifting through the arms, while there's this softening down through the chest and the head and softening through the face. So the central channel of the body is soft, while the outer rivers, the arms to the side waist, to the outer hips are bright, yet a softness everywhere else. And then you can rise yourself up and press yourself back into downward facing dog again. Stay with a nice long dog. Inhale to stretch your left leg up. And exhale, travel forward, one-legged plank, ideally keeping the hips square. Inhale to stretch up and back. And exhale, tiger curl, knee in. Step the foot forward, and then inhaling, hand coming on up. So left hand onto the left thigh, reach the right arm up, and exhale across and into your twist, but not touching. Inhale to stretch up, and from the back heel to the fingertips, brighten, and exhaling, not touching. Remember, we're extending ourselves a little further than maybe previously thought. Like I said, sometimes you just go for the knee and that's all you get. Sometimes in yoga, sometimes in life. So namaste. And twisting yourself around. Again, remember, not collapsing down, but shining, brightening out. Particularly lifting the belly away from the thigh, even as you send that outer left thigh back to the back of the mat. Good. All right. So then releasing the hands down, heel toe the left foot all the way over to the right side of the mat, and then bringing yourself forward and coming into the twist. So you could raise the hips here with a block if you needed to, or a cushion. Either this sweet, tender, motherly embrace, or stretching and opening and shining and yawning out, and then twisting, perhaps taking the upper arm to the outside of the leg and twisting yourself around. And you've got the option to bind here. Do keep the base even, and again, then there can be that even, balanced spine, unfurling. Imagine walking up a spiral staircase, and I wonder what you'll see at the top. Gazing out through the corner of your left eye. New perspectives, a fresh day, a fresh start, a clean slate. You can then come forward, turn forward, and cross the leg all the way over. So ideally the heels are at the hips, and then you can fold forward from here. Remember, we had the option of adding in the arms. So since it's your left leg over the top, it's balanced by the right elbow on top. But again, just not having this tendency of it collapsing forward, but actively reaching the elbows away from each other. So you've got plenty of options there, finding something that will bring a shininess to the inside, like taking a polishing cloth to the inside of your body and being. Nisha, on cue, lay down again. So that's nice when they connect in, they catch the vibe. I don't know about you, but my dog, she just loves yoga mats. Anytime I put a yoga mat down, she just thinks she looks at me like, oh, thanks for putting the mat down for me. I'm surprised she hasn't come onto the mat. All right, so let's come on up, and we won't do that crisscross thing. Just unhook the legs here and stretch the legs forward. So we're going to go into a forward fold. You can draw the buttocks out from underneath you so that you can feel the sit bones on the floor. And I'd recommend having a little micro bend in the knees, because as you fold, it is the morning, and the morning time we're naturally less flexible, yet we nudge those boundaries a little, diminishing the fuzz, so you can start to fold yourself forward. Check that you're not rounded through the back, but rather this beautiful fold from the hip crease, and keeping a length through the spine. So the natural curves of the spine rather than rounding, and folding yourself in breath by breath, this sweet embrace. Even if you're nowhere near your legs, just a feeling of gratitude to these beautiful legs of yours. And as you bow in, gratitude to yourself as well. The fact that you made it onto the mat this morning, the fact that you gave yourself this time to practice, means that this is important to you. And you put yourself first before all the other things that are on the list to do today. So good on you. So important that you value yourself. Just 2 more breaths. Carving out time and space and energy for yourself. You can then slowly peel yourself up and shift the hips forward and coming onto your back. So taking a couple of back bends. You could do a restorative version if you have a block handy, with the block underneath the pelvis. Or you could take an active bridge pose position. Or feel free to take wheel pose. Wherever you are, let's heel toe the left foot into the center, bring the right knee into the chest, and then stretching the leg up and finding that shining out now through the top foot, yawning, shining, whatever it is for you. And then crossing the leg over, come into a figure 4 shape, and open the arms out and releasing down. You can take a little threading the needle pose, keeping the foot active so that you're not overstretching the outer ligaments of the right ankle. And if your anatomy supports it, you could go right elbow onto the inner thigh and taking the elbow to press the knee away as you hug that left knee into the chest. And again, if you're up for it, you could even straighten that left leg out. Let's turn this into a twist. Release the left foot down, open the arms out to a T position, and then shuffle the hips over to the right side and take the twist over to the left. So plenty of variations here, making sure that you find one that works for you. Crossing the thighs over can be quite a tug or pull on the lower back. And as yogis, we need to have a bit of discernment around that sensation. Is it helpful? Is it perhaps injurious? So then let's come back into center and take a bridge pose or wheel pose a second time. So you could take wheel pose by all means and do the one-legged version as well. So let's heel toe the right foot into the center, left knee into the chest. Drive down through that right heel as you shine your left toes to the sky. And then crossing the leg over, keep driving the heel down so the hips lift and engaging through the glutes to lift higher. Then open the arms out and threading the needle pose. So left hand comes between the legs. A little bit of rocking if that works for you. Keeping this left foot active. So again, we're not overstretching the ligaments of the left ankle. When we roll on our ankle, we tend to roll to the outside. And those ligaments are already overstretched, so we don't want to overstretch them more. Feel free to straighten the right leg out if you wanted to do that. Everything's an invitation, not only in yoga, but in life as well. Where are you being invited to today? Open out into your twist. So take the hips, lift them up and take them over to the left side so your knees go to the right. And practicing at home, it can be tempting to skip Shavasana, but really Shavasana is where the magic happens. And we won't be here long because I don't want you to fall back asleep. So just for a few moments, very few moments, grant yourself that space to take Shavasana. That yawning from the inside that has cleared the cobwebs of the night, the cobwebs of your day or of your life up until this moment. And here you are, a brand new day. A brand new day, brand new possibilities. So you can allow yourself a few longer, fuller breaths. And as you prepare to re-enter the day, just allow your mind to percolate with what you want to bring into this day. Maybe not so much your to-do list, but what of you would you like to share with this day? with friends and family, with work colleagues. What would you like to shine out into the world today? And as you come on up to a seated position, you can then shine this out. Maybe with the mantra, I am. I am. A few times this, I do the arms because it works for me. I am radiantly happy. I am filled with joy. I am abundant and glowing within. Whatever it is, I am. Share that out, shine that out. Dear friends, namaste. Thank you so very much